Satnam, hello.
Satnam.
Hello. Hi. Satnam.
Hi. Who's here?
Sadna.
Harinder.
Sadna and Hari Inder. Sadna, how was your trip home?
Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear it. And now you're back at minus 20?
What's that? It's pretty
now
cold here.
Minus 20 degrees?
Guys, no, it was in the 20s, but not minus, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, my gosh. Well, I sure am glad I got to see you guys.
Oh, we had a great time. It was beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Yes, Baba Siri Gian. This is Sanj here from Vancouver.
Oh, hi, dear. You got home okay, good?
I did, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And who else is here?
Suzanne from Dallas.
Suzanne, welcome, dear. And who else?
Carol.
Now, I didn't get that. Please tell me.
Carol.
Carol and Guru Atma. Oh, good. Okay. Welcome. And Guru Atma, you got home fine, huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wonderful.
And Rahmani and Tomas.
Rahmani and Tomas, welcome. Welcome. Isn't this fun? So many people that we saw together. What was it? Has it been? Oh, it's a week and a half now. Oh, my gosh. Can you believe it? We left time and space, and now we're coming back. And who else is here?
Haridas Kaur from Minnesota.
Oh, hi, dear. How is it there? Are you having snow?
We are. It's a very light, fluffy snow.
Oh, sounds nice.
It's lovely.
Oh, good. And who else is here?
Good.
Hi, dear. Oh,
Hi.
yes, another one. Yeah, you got home safe,
Yay.
too. Good. And who else? Who is this unsuspecting person? Who just came on?
Ranjit.
Satnishan and who else?
Ranjit.
Oh, Ranjit, welcome. Good.
Hi, Ranjit.
Hi, Guru Ravi.
Satnam
and Satdeva.
Hi, Satdeva. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Did you see Amandeep at the Shiva ceremony?
Nope.
Oh.
I don't think he showed up. Some other people did, though.
No, he did. He came.
No, I'm sorry, I missed him.
Oh, darn. Sat Prem went and welcomed him. That was nice. They got lost. And who else is here?
Hadi Munder.
Oh, hi, Hadi Munder. Where are you?
I'm at the cabin.
Which cabin?
Gustavus.
Oh, good.
Cabin.
Alaska. Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Welcome.
Wonderful.
And who else?
Hadi Shaban.
Hadi Sharan.
Yes.
Well, welcome, dear. Isn't this the first time we've talked?
No, I haven't been on one of these calls in a really long time, but I'm here.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And who else is here? Silence is here. Soul is here. This is good. Okay, so, oh, man. Well, what I hear is, first I heard Baba Siri Chand, then Guru Ramdas is raring to go. Okay, so here we go. Sit straight, please. Long, deep breath. Long, deep breath. Eyes are closed, looking at the third eye point. If you can, palms together. Amandeep told us that little space in your palms, when you put your palms together, that's a space of many things. I can't remember them all, but Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and the one that I I really enjoy is the wish-fulfilling cow. This is amazing to me. Okay, so put your palms together. Long, deep breath. Long, deep breath. And remember, when you tune in, you're going to be doing the most profound thing that a human could do. You are truly tuning in to the golden chain of teachers that reaches into infinity. Understand that. And welcome. Welcome your soul. Welcome your infinity. And inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Long deep breath. Enjoy that full breath. Pure mountain air. Feel the exhilaration. The prana. Breath plus the breath, that meaning the oxygen plus the prana equals pavan, most sacred. Good. And now please begin heart breath. That is long, deep breath. Exhaling through the heart. That's it. Exhaling through the heart. Feel that beautiful heart open. Good. And now, please use your heart breath to connect with each other. He calls you my beautiful light workers, my beautiful heart workers. Wonderful. Feel that the strength that comes with our unity. And now, please send out your beautiful heart breath. He says, to anybody on the planet who has a prayer to be holy, that is, to know the divine. He says, and please join in that prayer. With your divine heart breath. Good. And inhale. And exhale. And he says you can continue heart breath if you like. It's always a good idea. Okay. So we have both Guru Ram Das and Baba Siri Chand penetrating us now. Penetrating with, it feels like such pristine, clear laser light. Please open to it. It's similar to that mountain air breath, but very crystalline. He says you have to know that he says that we are always beaming intelligence. He calls it intelligence. That is information of the divine and how to move it into this earth. We are always beaming that intelligence to you. He says, so please never turn away to feel bereft, that you were unkind or people have been unkind to you. He says, that's just their trip. Why make it your trip? He says, why not embrace the fact that you are always being fed this kindness, what you call love, what we call the grand essence of the infinite. It is always being beamed through you. He says, you have to know, my darlings, he says that, in fact, the beaming of this essence, he says, is the nugget at the core, the progenitor of, or is that word progenitor? I don't know. He says, of intuition and of evolution. He says, you've seen how the earth has progressed in consciousness, has progressed in awareness. You might think, oh my goodness, we've had so many wars and so on. He says, well, that's because you developed weapons of mass destruction, he says. But in essence, he says, the kindness quotient has increased over time. The care for others, the ability to care for yourselves and others has increased over time. He says, yes, I know there are always anti-evolution forces at work. He says, but that is the motion, the drama of creation of the universe. He says the Shiva principle is the one that destroys. That means let's go of the old, stuck, he calls it impending ways. The ways that, the old ways that keep harmony at bay. He says it's an ongoing process. He says in the recreation process, he says we still bring in part of the new. It's a cycling process that continues to roll over and over and over. The process is a purifying process. He says you can't exactly say that there's an end product because it is so very continuous. It is absolutely continuous. But he calls it, he's showing me, it's like, you know how you make homeopathic medicine? He says you use a drop of the original substance, such as arsenic, and you put it in with those little carrier balls, and you shake it. It's called percussion. You shake it, and then you put it in with new ones that don't have anything on it, and you shake it. He says, and you keep going. He says, and oh, my dears, you know what happens. He says, over that process, what happens is that the energy or the potency moves to the opposite pole. In other words, arsenic no longer kills you or makes you sick, but it moves to its opposite pole, in which it becomes Arnica. And Arnica is something that keeps your energetic awareness of pain. It changes it so that it's for pain relief. And as you know in the process, as you keep shaking it with new those little balls down the line, the potency increases. Can you imagine? It increases. It becomes more pure. He says, in fact, my dears, it will become known at some point that this is the energetic creative process. He says someone did discover it with their intuition. He says, but it will become known in the quantum physics field that this is the quality of, or the process, he says, of what we can call the expulsion, not of the bad, but of the blocked substances into the facilitative substances. That's what he calls it. Evolution to the facilitative substances, meaning light, closer and closer to the light. He says, you know that the final aspect of creation will be that all turns to light. He says, not that all turns to dark, but that all turns to light. Imagine that. Imagine all turns to light. He says that's who you are and what you are on your path. It's a constant percussing process that moves the old. He's using a big word that I don't know, so I'm not going to say it. So anyway, it breaks up the blocking and hardened substances of what we would call the past and moves it, breaks it up, moves it into the light. He says this is your path in your own awareness, in your own consciousness, in your own life. Do you see how important it is that you go through these, what you call trials and tribulations? He says it is the percussive process. It is the process of evolution. He says, now I want you to do a long deep breath, please. He says, and bring that light in. Bring that light in through your breath, through your whole body, through all that's in awareness of you. Bring in the light. Be aware of the tumbling process as you exhale. Keep that up, please. Inhaling the light and exhaling all of the particles, whether they be light or whether they be the slower frequency particles. He says, please keep that up. He says that is the reason why your pranayams are so very beneficial. He says you address different channels in your energy system as you do the different pranayams. He says it is clearing out and upgrading your wiring. He says, be very aware of your Kundalini Yoga pranayams, please, he says. As a matter of fact, he's suggesting that we explore that manual, Prana, Prani, Pranayam. He says there's a wealth of information in there. You won't believe how much information. He says it's hidden in the words. He says the real way that you get to know it is you test each one. You can do it test each one on a daily basis, or test each one for 40 days, or have a group test each one, over concentrated periods of time. For instance, if you were teaching, this would be a wonderful idea to do. And everybody contribute, become very aware, contribute what your experience is with it. Okay, keep that up, please. Keep up that awareness. He says, and allow your whole self to move into the sunlight as you do this. He says, now, my dears, this is very important. He says, when difficulties, what you call difficulties, possess you, when they address you, if you allow your mind to get so involved, so lost, so heartbroken, he says it's not bad, it's not good, but it does slow the percussive process. He says it's up to you. There's no good, no bad in this. He says, but if you would rather speed up the percussive process, your own evolution, he says, instead of falling back into what he would be calling the more solid bits, he says, move yourself into the sunlight, into the mountain air. He says you do this by moving into a neutral state, which is the same thing as surrender, which is the same thing as let go, let God, which is the same thing as Superman opening his cape. It's the same thing. He says, if you open yourself to this laser light, use your breath, use your pranayam. He says, get your body moving. He says, get your body moving so that this pavan can work more closely aligned within your body system, within your intelligence or conscious system. He says, then you can allow this percussive evolutionary process to move forward at a more, he says, at a more quantum rate. He says, it is not easy. He says, he says, after you get used to it, after a while, it can be easier. He says he's not saying that it's easy, but it is quicker. He says this is a way to go through grief, animosity, the feeling of being torn to bits, the feeling of being left alone on an ice floe to drift into the ocean. He says this works very well as a mender of broken hearts. He says, I know it sounds too simple. He says, but you are going absolutely to the heart, to the essence of pure evolution. Pure evolution to returning to pure light substance. He says, as you know, that is the object of union. Union is returning with your pure absolute consciousness that is the guide, the creator of you, returning to that in its entirety, in its full revelation, in its full knowledge of non-separation between what we would call the more solid particles and the pure light particles. The more solid particles have been totally percussed into the pure light. He says that's what enlightenment is. That is where evolution takes you. He says you can be object of evolution, or you may be the master of evolution. He says being the object of evolution takes more time. Being the master of evolution, he says, speeds it up. He says it's a very simple process. He says, again, he's not saying it's good or bad. It's just your choice. Your choice. And nobody's going to judge you bad if you want to take the slow road. It's okay. It's still the road. So keep up the breath. Keep up the breath. And now check out your consciousness. Check out your physical body. Do you see or feel any of those more solid bits, darker bits? You may feel them as pain. You may feel them as a sort of retarding your mind or your body. He says, are you aware of them? He says they can be sleeping hard bits. Or some people see them as dark bits. Doesn't matter. He says, do not judge. Do not judge. This is the process of evolution. Okay. Now, as you are aware of any of those, he says, please begin the percussive process with your breath. He says you can do heart breath. He says that's a master monster of pranayama. Begin your pranayama. And let it gently meet the more solid particles. Let them be bathed in this light. Let the light play with them. Love them. Don't force anything. Just allow it. Just allow it. Watch what happens now. Remember, it's a cycling. It's not an attack. It is cycling. It is love. It is kindness. It is patience. Keep it up. Watch what's happening now. He says you may see a picture, you may feel something. Or not at all. It doesn't matter if you do not feel or see. Just trust that it is happening. Good. Keep up that precious breath. Remember, this is a cycling. Infinite prana. Meeting the older solid particles. Those which may feel resistant to change. Resistance to opening. Just feel the love. It is the love, we call it the light, but it is the love that will allow those more solid particles, the less light particles, to relax so that they can be wish I had a better word than broken, but to be separated into smaller particles so that they may merge with the light, with a carrier, with the most kind mother's hand of the light. Relax into it. Keep up the churning, the evolution, the percussive process, and relax into it. Relax into it. Good. And have an intention that this will continue. Be very aware of what is happening. Be very aware of what is happening. You can make a note of it. Allowing your arsenic to turn to arnica. Good. And now fill your entire aura, your whole being. Keep up now with light. Allow it to totally fill with light. You feel the fun of it. Being deeply touched by the kindness and the purity that you flow within, that you flow as. He says, isn't it interesting that as you allow these little particles to break, the solid particles to break up, that it flows into union. It flows into the union of light, in which you are no longer separate, that you are connected, that you feel the kindness, that you know yourself as kindness, and the world is kind, no matter what's happening, no matter what commonly called grief-producing adventures are happening around you or episodes. This is very important in this new time. Keep up the breath. He says, and with this beautiful breath, extend this beautiful breath to those dear children who got shot in Ohio and their families and their community. Extend this beautiful light breath to them. You see, as you power within yourself, as you allow the evolution of the light to develop within yourself, you may share it. You are called on to share it in a much greater way because you have more access. You have more facility with the light. Keep up. Good. He says, keep up with the light. Keep up with the light and understand this is the process of healing. You as the healer. You as the healer. He says, please get used to that. Don't throw it away. Don't debunk it. Don't say, oh, I could never. I am not worthy. On the other hand, you don't say, I am the great healer. I am the only one who can. No, we're all joining in this beautiful light breath that allows the infinity to come to Earth, to do its evolutionary job, its evolutionary process, its percussive process. Keep up the breath. Know who you are. Know who you are. Isn't Isn't that funny, that word who? Yogi Bhajan told us that who means light. Know who you are. Amandeep had us doing Sufi meditations with who, name of God, name of light. Yogi Bhajan says the word human is made up of who, light, man, meaning mind, light of the mind. Use your mind how you can, how you want to. Who, light. Keep up the breath. This is who you are. And inhale this most gorgeous, beautiful, unending prana. And exhale. And have the intention that this beautiful light continue its cycling process. Dedicate yourself to it. Okay. Now, as you know, Baba Siri Chand always asks us to share our experience so that we may learn and heal with each other. So, who can share? Who can share their experience? Which one of your light beings can share?
I will. It's Ranjit.
Yes, dear.
Hi. I love that we are the masters of our evolution. That really that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What I felt was when the light came in, I was thinking about how when things are heated up, the molecules go farther apart. And
that's
when
right.
It's colder, they're close together. And I was thinking of all those areas within me that are cold, or like you were talking about the hardened part of it, like those places inside of you that you don't think of. And when I do heart breath, or when I bring the light in, I always bring it without thinking of it into, like starting like with my solar plexus and then going up into my heart center, because we do the heart breath, and up from there. And not that I don't pay attention to my other chakras, but this was much more far-reaching than usual, because my heaviness lately has been felt in my knees and in my ankles and things like that, and I'm like, I'm getting old and thinking the cold and stuff like that is starting to bother me, but I've never had a problem with that, thanks to Guru Ravi's great medicines. But I was feeling Mother go down into those places that are cold in my knees and into the different parts of my body that I'm not always aware of. I'm always thinking about how I just hold my pain or my grief or any sufferings or any unkindnesses. I think that I hold them in my heart, and we don't. We hold them everywhere in our whole body. So what I liked was that it made the rest of my body so much lighter. I actually felt her hands going down and pulling all of the stuff, all the hardened parts, the cold, where the molecules were all so close and tight together, and pulling them all out of me. And so when we were gently, I can't remember the word you used, not emulsifying. What was it? We were like tumbling. When we would blow out, we were, yes, and I was getting all of it. All of it was coming out of there. So I can't wait till I get up and start walking around and see how much better I feel.
That's wonderful.
It was great because it wasn't only, a spiritual, ethereal kind of a cure or healing, rather. but it actually felt like it really physically freed me up. So that was Wahe Guru. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that. He's reminding us that what we call physical, he says that is energy. That is all energy. As you know, you must be a scientist of some sort.
Me?
Ranjit?
Oh, no. An ethereal one, maybe.
Oh, okay. Because I think
maybe
a few times you've referred to it.
I'm a teacher, but I've taught that, but that's not my English is my main subject. But I love that. I love that whole field.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Especially when you talked about the quantum physics, that's a real favorite of mine.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes. Thank you.
He wants to know when you're going to send us your book on heart.
Very soon. I still need to make some changes, and I have to get back to that. I keep finding excuses not to finish that. I will have to get on myself better about it.
He says, don't get on yourself. He says, just get on me and we'll have fun.
That sounds great.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Who else can share?
This is Kaur.m4v. I can share.
Good.
Ranjit's cracking me up about all that. Everything was just so wonderful and profound as usual, but something that called to me was the pranayam. I've been teaching out of that for about the last month in class.
There you go.
And I asked my daughter yesterday, I said, I forgot I have to do the kids yoga newsletter. I just got mine done and the calendar done, and I was kind of forgetting about the kids for today, March 1st. Mm-hmm. And she said, how about opening into, and I said, into the breath. So we kind of put it together, and then I was talking about these different pranayams that are in that book and how the kids would love those, especially with the tongue. You know, the flicking of the tongue is so powerful, and it cracks adults up. So I think the kids would absolutely love that. So I was like, wow, to hear the book mentioned and our guidance to do that, because that was very apropos to my conversation yesterday. And and going into into those little cold particles, and I've been feeling just like an overall disappointment in people.
Oh, really?
And had not really realized that until we did this. And students that and clients that that keep telling me, oh yes, I'm going to come in for a treatment. I'm going to I'm going to schedule panchakarma, and months go by, and then they're diagnosed with liver cancer. They've got a spot on their lungs, and it's just like, when they come to me, and through the help of Baba Siri Chand and all the others, intuitively I see what's going on before any diagnostics can be done, and that's it's a disappointment, but it's like a heartbreak to see others stuck in that path when there's help and they reject it.
So what is Baba Siri Chand saying to you right now about that?
That's their path, that's their karma, and send them heart breath.
How does that feel to you?
Yeah, it feels right.
Good.
I mean, yes, but yes, and I feel like I do that, but it's like I want to do more, and I know that's enough, and I know that's all I can do. But I guess there's still a part of me that's still wanting to treat others.
Okay,
in
I guess
the physical way, maybe.
Okay, listen again. What does he say about their process?
just everyone has their own process.
Okay.
It's not
so
my
we
process.
get to respect it, yes?
Mhm.
Because he said over and over again at the beginning, he's not telling you that anything is bad. Nothing, we're going beyond bad or good, and that people can just decide how fast they want to go or how slow they want to go.
And I heard those words coming out of my mouth last week, but I don't know that I really believed it when I heard it again. I'm like, yes, I say that, and there is part of me that believes it, but then, that's what I'm working on, I guess. That was what I felt like. I was trying to dissolve that because, I know that. I mean, I truly know that, and I say it, but then I go back into this part of, but why do they have one foot on and one foot off? That's got to be hell, and that's got to be torture. And I see that in people. I see them going through that torture of it, and I just want to push them and go get on the path and just give them a little shove. And I know I can't do that. Right. It is their percussive process. Yes. I always go back to the other political party. Oh, yes, that is their percussive process. Mm-hmm. It is my percussive process to believe that what I believe is the truth and the only truth. Yeah. So we're here just to be and to extend and to allow others to come into the embrace of this light. But in the long run, you just can't judge it. Some people may need more, more confrontations of difficulty in order to learn more, burn more, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Our paths are so amazing. Our paths are so amazing, and they're so huge and full. Good. Well, thank you so much for sharing, dear. Thank you. Okay. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Now, who else can share?
Siri Gian?
Yes. Who is this?
This is Rahmane.
Yes, dear.
I heard you at one point use the word broken, the breaking up the hard places. But you said you weren't happy with that word. And loving words so much, the word that came was dissolve. And I was just looking it up in the dictionary. And it's interesting because the word to solve is right in the word dissolve. And
oh, I love that. I love that.
And the dis has to do with breaking it into two. So it's and then also a solvent dissolves something. It softens it. And so for me, the strongest image I take from that is softening the places in me that are hard, softening the part of me like Guru Ravi that wants to get in there and help and save people needless suffering. And meanwhile, I'm suffering myself by suffering in response to their suffering. So I have to go back to soften the place in me that judges me for my judgment of them. And so it's all about softening. And almost the word softening is almost like the word solve. I
love that.
Yeah. So
good. Thank you so much for introducing that word to us. It works much better.
And then as I was looking it up in the dictionary, I heard Guru Ravi use the word dissolve. So I thought, okay.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Good. We're on the beam, aren't we? As a unit.
We are. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Now, who else can share?
Sadhna.
Yes, Sadhna.
I was a great, big, beautiful frozen river in a bank, and I loved it.
Oh, wonderful!
I was amazed at the motion within the frozen that I hadn't ever really enjoyed. I was just scooting along in my bank. And it was grand, and it went all the way to the glacier.
Wow.
And then the other direction, it went right into the drops of dew.
It went into the what?
Drops of dew.
Drops of dew. Yum.
At the beginning of the thaw. They were yummy, and then they started to drip into my forehead.
Panchakarma.
So that was my experience.
Good.
But even frozen isn't solid. You know, it isn't static. It isn't. It is alive, and it's full of oxygen. Stored. That is, when it's released, it's an elixir. It's very refreshing.
How wonderful. Thank you. Did you feel it in your body or your consciousness as well?
I did. I felt it in my body. I felt it in my belly, and then it moved. The glacier part was in my belly, and then as it got close to my heart, it was the dew dripping.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What a lovely cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so one more. Who can share? Well, Baba Siri Chand is asking me to ask Hadiender. Hadiender, would you like to share? Are you here? Oh, maybe she had to go. Hadiender, are you on star 6? Okay. So, one more person to share. How about Haridas?
Am I off mute?
Yes, you're with us.
Okay. For me, the light was very peaceful, and I felt very comfortable accepting light and letting it move like drops of water through my body, and could, envision the lightness coming out, top 3 chakras.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was very, very peaceful.
How delightful. And how would it be if you also moved the light out of the lower chakras? How would that be? Just take a look at it now. Light coming from all your chakras. Use your breath.
That feels confusing.
Confusing? Why does it feel confusing?
Because I guess it feels to me like the lower chakras are gathering and the upper chakras are transmitting.
Oh, how interesting. Oh, good. So that's your cycling then, huh?
Yeah, so, drawing from the earth, from the creative force, the power of the nature, and then bringing up through communication and insight and connection with spirit.
How wonderful.
So, releasing energy lower the mouth.
Just for an experiment, what if the light were coming into the higher chakras and going out the lower chakras? Just for an experiment.
I'm challenged to put words to it, but it's something I'll explore because it's a very interesting sensation.
Cool. Well, we'd love to hear more about it. Are you a member of our Facebook group?
I am. I've just been slow to contribute.
Well, we're not judging. We're just encouraging. I'm really interested to hear what the result of this experiment would be.
Okay.
Good. And I encourage everybody else to also let us know your experience and put it on there so we can share. Again, I'm going to give you the address facebook.com/groups, GROUPS/Soul Answer. God bless you, dear. What a joy to be with everyone today. Baba Siri Chand is hugging us all. We're one great big group hug here. How lovely. Okay, so is Kahar here by any chance? Okay, so we will, now we're going to do Longtime Sun. Wrap up this energy. So palms together. And sing this song, this beautiful song, to each other and to your own heart. Inhale, please. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all around you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Inhale. And bowing to this precious light, this evolutionary tool, it's more than a tool, this evolutionary source, and that's who you are. Sat Nam. Bless you all. Talk to you soon. Sat Nam. Bye.
Thank you.